Hi, Leo. Welcome to your weekly forecast for October 28th through November 3rd. We're going to see what's happening the week ahead. We're coming to Halloween week. We're going to see which messages are coming up for you with this card here, this deck here, and then a spirit message for you from that deck there. We are coming out of some pretty heavy energies right now, and we're headed into another heavy moon cycle. We're headed also into a Mercury retrograde. So we're going to see how the energies are affecting you guys, Leo. My philosophy on Mercury retrograde is we have survived so very many of them. We'll survive this one as well. We'll just see what's going on or what, if anything, you need to look out for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the week ahead. Here is your Monday, Tuesday, your Wednesday, Thursday, and your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, my darlings. So we're starting it off with the World. So this is the completion of a cycle, Leo. And this is something that makes me feel, Leo, that some of you may have had something intense occur for you over the weekend or sometime midweek last week that you handled in a very perfect kind of way. You may have had an old issue come up again. You may have had to be assertive about something. You may have had a toxic love partner show up, and you may have told them, no thank you, hit the road, I'm not interested, it's not going to happen. Whatever the case may be. But the World card is coming up. I was going to say the World Cup. That's a whole other thing. But the World card is coming up, Leo, to let you know that you handled it. Not just did you handle it well, you broke an old karma with it. You broke an old cycle. And now you can expect for things to get better. Now, typically, I would say, something is happening and you're having a movement of assertiveness. Something similar came up. Who is it for? It may have been for Cancer or Aries. I can't remember. But for you guys, I'm feeling that it's already happened. I'm feeling like it's already occurred. You already had the moment. You already stood up for yourself. And when you did, you changed your story. You changed your personal dynamic. You changed the energy of the kind of people or things that are offered you or come your way. I also feel, Leo, that a lot of you are really starting to feel ready to be seen. Like you're starting to put yourself out there. And I think you're thinking bigger than things like love life or, popularity or things like that. I feel like you're putting yourself out for causes. You're putting yourself out for, volunteer work or making a difference or doing something in terms of a business that you see to be your life work or life purpose. Like you're feeling ready to get out there and you're feeling ready to be seen. There's a strong sense of confidence that's coming in the World card for you guys, Leo, and coming into this. I also feel that some of you, for some reason, I know there's all kinds of things when people say, Leo and Scorpio isn't compatible, or Leo and Scorpio can't have a relationship. Like some people will say that kind of thing. My whole stance is always that it doesn't really matter what astrological zodiac sign somebody is. What matters is their vibration. Are they high vibration? Are they mature? Are they, able to communicate? If they are, it doesn't matter what sign you're dealing with, right? If you're a high vibrational person, if you both are high vibrational, if you're both mature, if you're both open and willing to communicate, you can get along with anybody, or you can make things work with anybody, whether it's romance or business or whatever. And so I do feel something is happening, Leo, for some of you where you're interacting or you're working closely with a Scorpio. I'm not sure why I'm getting that feeling or that vibe, but I'm getting that vibe, okay? So some of you, maybe if you have unfinished business with a Scorpio, you may be finishing that business in a very high vibrational way. Some of you may be embarking on some kind of a new journey, a new partnership. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be somebody who's coming in as a partner on a creative project or a business project. But I feel for some of you, there's a Scorpio involved in the mix. I'm just kind of getting that feeling and getting that vibe. Your Wednesday, Thursday, my darlings. I don't do reversals. I just had the deck upside down. Your Wednesday, Thursday, my darlings, is 10 of bats. And this confirms the world card to me very, very much. And now I can't remember. I think it was Aries. You guys are having a very similar reading to Aries. Only they had a different card uh for the world card in the beginning, but it was again about like an assertiveness or standing up, and then they had 10 of bats also. So maybe for some of you there's an Aries involved in the mix, or maybe for some of you you have Aries somewhere and this is like your moon sign reading, or you have Aries in your moon or in your rising, because it's a very similar energy. I'm just letting you know that right now. But to have the 10 of bats come up, this gives me a sense and a feeling, Leo, that again, this is a matter of like you're putting an end to something. I'm getting that assertive feeling, that assertive vibe again. 10 of bats or 10 of swords, as we know it in traditional tarot, sometimes scares people because they feel like, oh my goodness, it's a betrayal, or oh my goodness, something is ending. But anytime I've pulled it for myself or for my clients over the years, I have seen it mean that the person I'm pulling the card for, which in this case would be you, Leo, the person that I'm pulling the card for is the one that's making the decision for the ending, is the one that's making the decision to go in a new direction, and they're putting an end to something toxic. They're not putting an end to something that's benefiting them. They're putting an end to something that is toxic. So some of you are breaking out of addictions or self-medicating habits or self-sabotaging habits, and other ones of you are, oh no, you know what, I think I remember who it wasn't Aries, I think it was Cancer. I'm sorry, some of you may be having a very similar reading with Cancer, dealing with a Cancer. So what you have happening is you may be putting an end to someone who's been draining you or using you, or you did recently put an end to something, and this card is coming up as confirmation for you that yes, it was the right thing for you to do, and that you can expect that this time this is gonna stick. You don't have to do this again. Maybe some of you have someone who keeps coming in and out, and you're like, oh my god, when are you ever gonna go away? This is it. Like you guys did it. You passed the test. It is over. It is done. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Okay? You're putting it behind you. Next we have here, oh my gosh, 6 of Imps or 6 of Wands. This is victorious energy, Leo. You need to give yourself a pat on the back. Whatever happened last week and whatever you're heading into this week, you are doing a really good job and you are coming out on top. I feel also that by the changes that you're making within yourself, especially with that 10 of Swords card, you are coming into a series of victories. That's how I'm feeling this card. I don't feel it as one single event or one single accomplishment. I feel it as a series of accomplishments or a series of victories, where you're going to find it's going to feel to you as if your luck has changed. And Spirit wants you to know, Leo, this isn't a matter of luck. This isn't a matter of your luck changing. This is the matter of the fact that you shifted your energy, and that now you're attracting good, positive things into your life and opportunities into your life. Leo, I feel for a lot of you with this card coming in, there's a sense or a feeling of being taken seriously. Maybe some of you have struggled with that. Like maybe you feel sad, or you felt like people don't give you a chance, or they don't take you serious, or they judge you too much about, like, you know, stupid things you did when you were younger. We all have stupid things we do when we're younger. All of us do, right? Because we don't know any better. Or times in which you're like, oh man, I should have known better, and I did this and I did that, and I can't seem to shake that reputation. People can't seem to forget about that. Like, they don't realize that I learned from that mistake, or they don't realize that I've been working on myself. And so I feel something is happening in this week, Leo, where finally it's like, yes, redemption. Like, I'm being taken seriously. Like, people see how hard I worked, they see how far I've come, and they're taking me seriously and they're giving me a chance, right? So there's this feeling or this sense of being given a chance to do something important, or to do something that's going to bring you blessings or abundance. I feel some of you, Leo, Leos, you've been in a work situation where you've been going after like a promotion like forever. You've been going after this forever, and you may see like time and time again like, oh man, I got passed up for it and it went to this person or it went to that person. And a lot of it was because you were just in this energy where they felt you weren't ready for it. Maybe they felt like you were too stressed out, or maybe they felt like you were kind of on autopilot, or you were checked out and they didn't think you were ready for it. But something is happening this week where you're making the shift, or either you're like, oh wow, I'm surprised I'm being offered this promotion, or things are happening where you're beginning to receive more responsibilities and you're headed in that direction. You're headed in that way. They're beginning to prepare you for it. So again, I feel for a lot of you, there's a sense of victory that, Leo, you feel like it's a long time coming, a long time coming. And that 10 of Swords is saying is that it's finally here because you ended what was sabotaging you. You ended what was holding you back or preventing you from receiving it. Now you're going to receive it. Now it's here. Now it's yours. Now the victory is yours. I also feel, Leo, that people are going to be talking about you and discussing you like a lot, but I feel like it's in a good way. I feel like it's in a positive way. And I feel like you're going to feel people are showing interest in you that weren't showing interest in you. And it's because of like the positive discussion that's happening about you. There was a similar message that came in last week for one of the other signs. I'm not sure if it was for you guys or for a different sign, but understand and know that if it's being repeated and if it was you, then Spirit is saying you didn't hear it the last time. You need to take it seriously. I can't recall if it was for Leo or someone else, but I really do feel like there's this discussion about you, or like people are wanting to celebrate you. Don't be surprised if you receive an offer of like, hey, you know, you've done really great on this, or you've done really great on that. Like, let's go out and celebrate, or let me buy you dinner. I feel a lot of you are receiving like kind gestures in that way, or you're receiving a positive attention or positive reinforcement in that way. For some of you, it might be coming through a work situation, because for some reason, I don't know why, but Spirit just showed me, I don't know if schools still do this, but they did it when I was a kid. Like, if you were a really good student and if you really behaved, you might get like a Citizen of the Month award or something, or something like, hey, you did a good job, here's a certificate, and you get like a free personal pizza at Pizza Hut, or you get to, you know, get like a Burger King or something. There were a lot of the fast food places would do that, and I guess now we would say, oh, it's terrible that you're rewarding kids with fast food, but or just something, right? Like here's something you get to go do, or you get to pick a prize from the prize box or something. And so I feel some of you are having that feeling, not that you're a little kid, but like feeling really proud of yourself, like feeling noticed, feeling a sense of accomplishment, like, wow, I was able to do that on my own, feeling like a sense of independence. And so for a lot of you, it could be recognition that's coming in through work, right? It could be something that's coming in through work, because when you're a kid, your job is school. But for some reason, Spirit showed me that. So some of you are having that feeling, I did a good job. Like, I did a good job. I'm learning. I'm growing, right? Like, I'm a big kid now, you know? But, like, you're feeling it in, like, a more grown-up kind of way, more mature kind of way. But really, really feeling accomplished, really feeling proud of yourself. And standing out from the crowd. Like, all the other kids are like, oh, you're lucky. Oh, you got that, you know? So you might even feel like your coworkers are envying you, or people are looking at you like, oh, you're so lucky. And it feels good, you know? It feels good to stand out. It feels good to be recognized. It feels good to know that, like, you know, that extra that you were doing is being noticed and being seen, right? Like, you're proud of yourself and you're like, yep, I got it. I'm the lucky one. I'm the special one. Let's go ahead and see what your spirit message is for the week, Leo. And I encourage you guys to watch your moon sign and rising sign videos as well, because some weeks those might resonate with you more, or they might add a little extra information that could be helpful. So your spirit message for the week, my darlings, is gratitude, right? So we talked about how there's this energy or this sense of like you're going to be receiving as those little things happen, no matter how small they are. like people praising you, or offering to take you out, or saying good things to you, or paying compliments to you. Give gratitude for each and every single one of them, no matter how small, because you're going to find that that's creating more of those instances, and that the more you're in gratitude, the bigger those instances become. Like the things that you're receiving begin to become bigger or higher level. Okay. Also, spirit wants you to do something to give thanks for this changing luck, or to give thanks for what's coming in. Spirit has a very specific message for some of you Leos, so I really hope you're listening to this. Please listen closely. Spirit is saying some of you are trying to be in gratitude of what you have financially, because things have been tough for you, and you're trying to manifest abundance, and that you have it for some reason. When you saw the gratitude card, you got this idea that you were going to give a big amount, or at least a big amount for you, to like charity, or you were gonna, go and put it to use in some good way, and it's a big amount, but you're like, you know what, I'm gonna spend it with faith, and then that way more is going to come back. And Spirit is saying no. Spirit is saying be balanced. You don't have to spend this money or donate this money to show gratitude, unless you are donating an amount that you know absolutely positively you're going to be okay without it. Like, if you don't have this great big miracle that's coming in, you're not going to freak out about not having that money. So Spirit is saying, when it comes to gratitude and having faith, don't go to extremes with doing really, really over the top generous things financially, or going out or buying or spending things like, oh, well, I want to get a new job, and so I'm going to go on a bunch of interviews, and I have faith and I have gratitude that I'm going to get hired, so I'm going to go and I'm going to like buy a whole new wardrobe so I look good on my interviews, and then I'm going to have a job in no time. Okay, well, even if you get hired that day, it's going to take time for the checks to come in. It's going to take time for you to start the job. It's going to take time for the payroll to kick in. It's going to take time, so Spirit is saying, don't do anything rash, don't do anything extreme. You can be in gratitude just simply from your heart. You can be in gratitude just simply giving thanks. You can be in gratitude by performing acts of kindness for other people that aren't going to cost you anything, right? You can do something kind for someone. You can be loving towards someone. You can help someone. It doesn't have to be like this a big grandiose thing where like you're proving yourself, or like you're making a bet with the universe. The universe is not asking you to make a bet with the universe. The universe is asking you to give thanks and to appreciate what you have, and to pay it forward in loving ways. It doesn't have to be in like a big financial display. So please, please hear me out on that, my darling Leos. Again, I recommend you watch your moon sign and rising sign video for more information. And guys, I really recommend that you watch the love reading for November. Even if you don't care about love, even if you're like, look, I'm not looking for a relationship, or even if you're like, hey, I'm already with the love of my life and I'm happy, I'm not concerned about love readings, I recommend that you watch the one for November, because there's really big changes and really big shifts that are happening for you in the month of November. Well, for all of us, not just for Leo, but for all of us, because even though we're coming into a Mercury retrograde season and things can get reversed after Mercury retrograde, from what I've read and from what I understand, um, this Taurus full moon that's coming in, because of the way the planets are positioned, it's bringing very, very substantial, very permanent, long-lasting, permanent changes to people's love life and personal life. And so because it's such a big shift, I decided to channel all the videos the whole time. I don't remember what I said. I wish I could sit here and say, oh, Leo, this came up for you and that came up for you. I don't remember. I went back and I tried to review them real quick, and I forgot them. Whatever I was able to retain from looking at the titles or skimming through them real quick, because it came in so fast. It came in so fast. So it's from Spirit, and it's about all of the shifts and the changes. So I just remember feeling really connected. I remember feeling like doors opening up. So because it's a channeled message, there's going to be a lot in there that's not only about love. Like it's going to be about just your life as a whole and the path as a whole. So I recommend that you watch the love readings for November as well if you haven't already. And again, if you'd like a private reading, please feel free to click on the Calendly link in the description of the video, and you can schedule a reading with me there. I thank you so very much for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and I'm wishing you the very best, Leo.